digital transformation touches everything from the way we understand our customers, the way we build the products to serve them, the way we deliver services to them, the way we support them. It's that entire spectrum. So digital transformation has to look at the ability of an organization to take the technologies that are available to transform the way the entire organization works and delivers value. There are 4 pillars or forces that basically are driving digital transformation. The 4 technologies that are primarily at the heart of digital transformation. The first one is the internet and data. Right. There's more data being generated per day today that was being generated per year just 20 years ago. Right. That data gives us insights into customers, their behaviors, what they do. And the accessibility for that data and the ability to massage it is one of the pillars on which this digital transformation is built. The second pillar, or the second technology on which digital transformation will be built is mobile. Right. Mobile devices, today, the kind of phones that we carry around, smartphones, have more processing power in them than all of the processing power that was used to launch man into space in the 60s. Power is in the hands of customers today. That processing capability allows them to be able to take products and services that you could not deliver without a huge data center and put that on a mobile device and have the customer to be able to access it. So mobile is clearly the second technology. The third technology is social media. Right? And I think probably the best way to describe how one might look at social media is the fact that it creates almost a whole new community. And that community has a different paradigm in terms of how they engage, how they interact, in fact, even how they see things, right? What the expectations are. My best advice to business leaders who are looking at social media is to think about social media as if you're going into a new market, right? It's almost like going to a new country, a new territory, where the rules and the dynamics are different, and you need to consider how do I deal with or take advantage of that. Social media is so pervasive and so interactive in the way consumers can interact and consume information, ideas, products, services today, that as an organization, if you're not leveraging it, you're definitely missing out on one of the most vibrant markets. But you're also missing out on a whole new customer demographics, people who live in the digital world, the people that we call the digital natives. The final pillar really is cloud. And cloud really speaks to the speed at which you can drive innovation today. Again, one of the best analogies I like to give is, in the past, if you're a traditional organization, you need to build a massive data center before you can take any technology products to market. Today, any young technology company or individual can actually go into their room, build a product, design it for the market, and talk to one of the cloud providers, and they're up and running in weeks. Right, with all of the technology that they need to be available at their disposal. That changes the dynamics of competition. Right? It changes the speed at which you can take product from conception to production and serve customers. Right? And the organizations who do not take advantage of that innovation speed and the ability to deploy new products and services really is not looking at the digital transformation journey in its entirety. Now, when you think about the 4 pillars, the organizations that will win the digital transformation journey are those organizations that are able to combine these 4 forces and leverage it in the transformation of their entire organization. For an organization to look at those 4 pillars and how each of them can transform their business, and I'll take each one. So let's look at data and the internet. The ability of an organization to take the data that they have available on their customer, cross-reference it with the data that is publicly available on platforms like internet and all of that, can give you deep insights into what your customer wants and what their preferences are. It gives you deep insights into the kind of products that you should be building to serve those customers and how you should be targeting those customers. So an organization that wants to go on a digital transformation journey must look at how do I harness the data that I have and augment it to create better products, better service, and better engagement with my customers and target it correctly. Organizations need to look at mobile. Right? Mobile creates one of the easiest ways to access customers today. Right? With the hundreds of millions of mobile devices out there, not only in this country but globally across the world, the billions of connected touchpoints that the mobile presents, it's the fastest, easiest way to deliver products and services to your customers, right? With them doing most of the processing because of the processing power in mobile devices. If you're not building products and services that can be delivered to customers on mobile, the pervasive access that mobile creates is not available to you as an organization. And then obviously you also need to consider social media, right? Social media as a way of reaching customers, social media as a way of getting feedback from customers, social media as a whole new market that you can target with products and services that maybe you haven't even conceptualized or built yet. And the organizations who understand that are already going around changing their marketing engagement to reflect the fact that many of their customers are on social media, creating content that are targeted in that manner. They are recognizing that they can create communities with their customers with two-way flow of information within social media in a manner that they couldn't do before. They're learning that they can actually sell products and services that are digital native within the social media environment. So organizations who need to win will also have to conquer social media. And then the last one really is cloud. And cloud really is really around innovation and speed, right? We are an organization that leverages technology, right? The fastest way to move to market today is leveraging cloud, right? The alternative is going to build a data center and all of the challenges that come with that. One of the best examples to give is if you think about how long it took an organization to take a product to market from conception to production cycle. Traditionally, 2 to 3 years, depending on the kind of sector that you have. That has consistently shortened where idea to offering cycles today can be as low as 23 or 24 days. For digital transformation, organizations usually go through 4 phases. The first phase really is the simple phase where you are able to create a digital offering to your customer that allows them to engage you digitally. This could be as simple as I have a website, I've built a mobile app, right? So that's probably step 1. Level 2 in digital transformation journey usually looks at your ability to then automate some of the processes that support that front end. In that case, you're now able to say you're able to automate the delivery of a service or the delivery of an offering, and customers can self-serve from any of the channels that they have. Level 3 is when you start basically dealing with the back-end processes that are not visible to the customer, but are required by the organization to support the processes that deliver value to the customer. This is where you're automating your support processes, your back-end, your settlement, your reconciliation. The final level of digital transformation is when, as an organization, it's impacting your business model, right? How do I leverage the fact that I'm now 100% digital to change the way I support or deliver value to my customer and where I price? And I think one of the examples that probably illustrates this most is lending. So traditional lending, you come, you fill a form, go through a credit committee process and all that. That's your traditional process with lending. Organizations who are on the digital transformation journey using lending as an example. So that's level 1. Now your customers can access you digitally. They don't have to come out physically fill the form. Level 2 is when you are then able to take the forms that the customer has filled and process that in an automated manner. Right? So you can then provide some level of feedback to the customer as part of that journey. When you get to level 3, you are taking advantage of the data that you have internally and externally, and you're writing lending models or credit models that are able to make the lending decision on behalf of the organization, right? So you can make a decision, am I going to give this customer a loan or am I not going to give the customer a loan in a fully automated using data models and artificial intelligence, right? So that's kind of like the 3rd level. The 4th level is because you've done level 1, 2, and 3, you can then embed lending in customer journeys like in online purchases, right? I'm on the website, I'm buying something, and as part of that buying process, I can immediately access and use a loan to pay for that product, right? That's when you now completely flip the business model. You are no longer having the customer come and request for a loan to buy something. You are embedding the loan process in the buying process itself. And organizations who go through that journey are able to take advantage of that and transform their companies in a manner that they can deliver value to customers and none of their competitors are able to. Which is again the reason why we say if you're not on the digital transformation journey, you may not have a business in the next 10 years. So looking at the journey that many organizations have gone through in Nigeria and in Africa, there are quite a few really good examples of organizations who've taken advantage of digital transformation to position themselves in a fantastic way for the future. And I think one of my best examples really happened last year with COVID. I think it's one of those traditional tale of two cities when you look at the performance of banks in the last financial year. There were a group of banks who saw the COVID years and really as a major improvement in their business performance. Right? So if you go look at the bank's results from last year, there are banks who did extremely well. Right? Their transaction business grew, their profitability improved despite the challenges of COVID. You also notice that those banks didn't have huge queues in their branches once the initial lockdown restrictions were lifted because they had been able to build over time digital channels to support their customers, and customers just adopted that and moved on. But you then have this second group of banks who really struggled, right? They didn't have robust digital channels, or even if they did, they didn't have robust back-end processes, so the lockdown affected them in a way that impacted them. And that distinction became very, very clear during the course of the year. What has happened since then is obviously every bank has now realized that digital transformation is key or critical for them to be able to survive. So again, one of the concerns that organizations have when they're thinking about digital transformation is the people question, right? Am I going to have to let all my people go? Will I have resistance from the internal teams, right? So it is an important consideration when you're thinking of digital transformation. Is the change management, people management part of the process. And I find that working with a proper change management strategy is important for this kind of transitions. And I'll use Interswitch as an example on a journey that we've gone through. We took a decision a few years ago that we wanted to automate and digitize our back office support, right? By implementing artificial intelligence, right? To accelerate our ability to deal with some of the mundane customer issues that we had. At that time, we had a really large customer service desk, and really all they were doing is taking calls and responding to issues. And there was a lot of concern around, oh, we will lose our jobs, won't we lose our jobs? What we found is that as we took away some of these mundane, non-taxing, menial jobs away from people, we found that those people could be deployed or redeployed to more value-adding services, right? We ended up not letting anybody go because we were able to redeploy 100% of the people to functions that were more value-adding because we've been able to automate and digitize part of it. And I think most organizations will find that that journey is probably true for them as well. So, Interswitch has been helping organizations on their digital transformation journey for years. It's one of the core parts of what we've been doing. It's a core part of our business. And the industries that we support range from banking to healthcare to government to fast-moving consumer goods, right? We are supporting customers in almost every industry sector managing digitization, not only at a business level, but even at an industry level, where we're building industry digitization solutions to help an entire industry to digitize. For example, what we're doing in healthcare, right? Creating a digital backend for the industry that allows customers to be able to access healthcare at the hospitals, to be able to connect to HMOs to get access to care that they need. So how is Interswitch helping? We're assisting with providing technology, right? as a core technology company, focusing on digitization, we've been helping industries to build the technology platforms that is the core, the framework on which they're going to build their technology, their digitization journey. So that's at that. And we've done that in banking. So we provide banks technology to help them build their digital platforms. We've done that in healthcare, in education, in government, right? So as a technology provider, Interswitch can help. On top of that, we've then layered data, right? Again, part of your digital transformation has to leverage on data. So we are collecting and managing data in compliance with the NDPR and GDPR specifications to allow organizations get better insights into their customers, into how their products are performing, and into the decisions that they need to make to grow their business, right? We're helping organizations build technology to be able to do that for themselves as well. So we're not only offering data infrastructure for ourselves and for our customers, we're also basically allowing them to use that data to make better decisions in our Interswitch data services business. If you layer on top of that how we are assisting in building the front-end products and services that customers use, we build mobile banking, USSD, internet gateways, portals, all of those things that you want to be able to use to offer your customer services. And we recognize that there are many organizations who cannot afford some of these technologies themselves. So we've been very deliberate about building white label offerings that does not require you as an organization to make the investment, right, in technology or the operational overhead of having to manage that technology. Interswitch can offer you a white label solution that is branded and managed in your colors to deliver digital front ends to your customers. And probably one of my favorites is what we're then doing on a Pan-African basis, right? Digitizing cross-border payments to facilitate trade. I think for an organization, the benefits for digital transformation are clear, absolutely. The benefits include, one, you can serve more customers, right? Because you can reach more customers, right? You can definitely reach more customers using internet, social media, or mobile than you could do if you were doing it in the branches, right? The ability to serve more customers automatically increases your ability to generate revenue as an organization. The second is you can reduce costs, right? And this is really cost to serve customers, right? So even though you're making a significant investment in technology, right, your cost to serve on a unit cost measure generally for digital transformation projects is positive. You can reduce the cost to serve your customers if you go on a digital transformation journey. And the last one really is you can enter into new markets, create new products, new services that allow you to basically create new opportunities where maybe none existed. If you're building new business models, you can basically create those new opportunities because of the capabilities you build as part of your digital transformation journey. But I think by far the most important reason why you should go on a digital transformation journey is because your competition is doing it. And if you don't, they are going to take your customers away.